Welcome back. I'm Matt Wacker, and this is the Weekly Recap. Following the resignation of University of Missouri System President Tim Wolf, Missouri S&T Chancellor Cheryl Schrader says racism has no place at the university. Wolf resigned amid criticisms that he was unresponsive to growing racial tensions on the Columbia campus. Shortly thereafter, Schrader released a statement saying she supports S&T's African American students and employees, and that the university community must endeavor to make the campus a safe and welcoming environment. Retired law professor Mike Middleton has been named interim system president. 2 arrests have been made following threatening messages posted on the social media app Yik Yak. 19-year-old Hunter Park of Rolla and 19-year-old Tyler Brandenburg of St. Louis each posted messages online implying they were planning attacks on the Missouri S&T and Mizzou campuses, respectively. Authorities traced both messages back to their source, arresting Park at Thomas Jefferson Residence Hall in Rolla and issuing a warrant for Brandenburg, who later turned himself in. Both men admitted to separately posting the messages referencing the recent unrest at the University of Missouri in Columbia. Both Park and Brandenburg are charged with making a terrorist threat, a Class C felony, and if found guilty could face up to 7 years in prison. Park is being held without bond. Brandenburg's is set at $75,000. Missouri deer hunters took to the woods on November 14th for the open of firearms season. Lee Mentink spoke with one of the hosts of Outdoor Vigilantes about his experience.
I'm sitting here with Cody Lucas, who is the host of Outdoor Vigilantes TV show. We're going to talk a little bit about the firearms deer hunting season. Cody, it's good to have you.
Thank you.
On our show. Just want to ask you a little bit about how your opening weekend went.
It's went really good. Some of our pro staffers have tagged out on some really good deer. We've been pretty selective, kind of holding back. One of our guys, 2 of our pro staffers' sons got deer, so it hasn't been too bad. Terry there and myself, we're kind of holding off for a big one. I had an encounter with one, but the cameraman couldn't get on him, so I had to elect to pass. But it hasn't been too bad other than this rain. We're ready for this to settle down.
That would help, wouldn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
It sure would. So how long have you been hunting, and what's your history in the
I've been hunting since I was little bitty. My dad would take me, and we'd get so far away from the vehicle that I couldn't walk back. I was 2 and 3 years old, so my dad would piggyback me back out of the woods. I mean, that's how long I've been going to the woods with my father. So since I was a little bitty child, it was just a part of our life. I took my first turkey when I was 9 years old. My first whitetail buck when I was 10 with a rifle. And then with a bow, I was 13. And I took my first buck with a bow when I was 13 years old. And the rest is history.
Wow. And I understand your children go with you, too. You have 7.
Absolutely, I do. I've got one, my oldest boy, Dylan, he's in the Air Force. He's over in South Korea as we speak. But he's an avid hunter, so he's really missing out. He writes home and how he wishes he was home to go deer hunting. But I have Dylan, and then I've got 4 boys and 3 girls, and they go all the way down to a set of 4-year-old twin boys. And they're already begging me to take them when I go to the woods, and they're having fits if I don't take them. But I'm busy taking the 10 and 12-year-olds and the camera crew, but their time's coming. I'm going to eventually hand this over to them. It's all going to be about them before long,
They'll have to wait.
Yep, their time's coming.
Well, I understand the Missouri Conservation Commission just approved some changes for next year, 2016 hunting season. One of the changes being significantly reduced hunting days. What's your take on that?
Well, of course, as a hunter, most of us hate that because we like the time at deer camp. That's what it's all about. We wait all year to go to the deer woods. They are going to cut back on it. My understanding, if I understand it correctly, the regular rifle season will be cut back just the 2 days, because right now it runs from a Saturday through the week, through the second weekend, and into a Tuesday. They're going to cut the Monday and Tuesday off and just have it, Saturday to the following Sunday, which is the way it was years ago. Mm-hmm. Most of the deer hunters that have hunted a while remember that. The extra Monday and Tuesday was just an added addition that we liked. Where it really hurts us is the December season on the antlerless only, the doe season. They're reducing it, I think, from 10 or 12 days down to 3, if I remember right. My understanding is because of the old timers call it blue tongue, but the disease that come through and wiped out so many of our deer population. They're trying to give it a time. They're going to try next year to see if it builds the population back up. They're saying the population suffering.
Well, we hope that that's successful. Okay, before we go,
Mm-hmm.
your top 3 quick tips for successful deer hunt.
The top 3 tips. The number one, well, we'll start with number 3. Number 3, I don't know, they're all important to me. Well, the top 3 would be scent control, of course. A lot of guys I see, they'll take the effort and they'll spend the money and they'll buy scent away spray to kill their human odor. They'll put their stuff in the little scent away oven and they bake their clothes so it kills all the human scent. And then they'll put all this on prior to the woods, and then they go to the gas station and they get out and they pump gas and they walk through all the oil and grease and everything that's on the pavement, and they'll go into a place where they're smoking cigarettes and all this. And I'm thinking, I watch this and I'm thinking to myself, now, really, you just ruined everything you just did.
Yeah.
So the best thing, and I know it's a pain, but if you really, especially with archery when you got to get close, but the number one thing would be your scent control, and that's take your stuff in a scent-free bag or in a rubber tote. Control that scent. Take your scent-free shower, your scent-free deodorant. They've got scent-free toothbrush, toothpaste, you name it, they've got it all now, shampoo. Do all that at home. Take your extra steps. When you get in the field, then put your hunting clothes on. Take your slippers off from home. Just wear your slippers from home. When you get to the woods, put your hunting boots on. Everything in the field to keep from contaminating what you've worked so hard for. The next one would be know the area. Know where the deer are bedding and where they're going to a food source at. Try to get in between the two. That way when they get up and they're coming out of an evening to go to the food source, you can intercept them. If they're coming back in early of a morning from the food source, going back to their bedding area, you're intercepting them of a morning.
That makes sense.
I'm telling all my tricks here. And I'd say the other one would be calling. Don't call too much and call at the right time. People will go out and deer know what deer are supposed to sound like. They know how to communicate. If these guys go out opening day of bow season and they're crashing their horns together and they're grunting and snort wheezing and they're blowing on the door, I mean, the deer are going to be like, whatever, and they're going to take off, You have to wait until the deer movement's right. Usually the last weekend of October, the first week of November is unreal for calling. If you haven't tried it, try it. Get out, rattle those horns, grunt, make the sounds of these deer, and you'll be amazed. I've called deer in just like turkey. I mean, I've called them right to the tree several times. But it just depends on the time of year. You got to play it. You got to play the time of the season during the rut.
So you heard it here, the top 3 tips for a successful deer hunt from Cody Lucas. Back to you, Matt.
Rifle season continues through November 24th. A Sullivan child has been returned to his father after his mother was found and arrested in Lawrence, Kansas. On November 6th, Daniel Lyndell of Sullivan reported that his estranged wife, Brandi, had taken their 2-year-old son in violation of a court order of protection. Brandi Lyndell is charged with parental kidnapping and violation of a child protection order. She is being held on a $20,000 bond. Several dozen nurses, doctors, and staff gathered at Rolla's Mercy Clinic on November 6th to celebrate Mercy's 125th anniversary. Ceremonies included a prayer, reading of scripture, and a brief speech from Dr. Larry Marti. Mercy's history goes back to the late 1800s and now includes 6 hospitals, 3 specialty hospitals, nearly 700 doctors, and thousands of staff and clinic locations, including those in Pulaski and Phelps counties. Rolla's own Mercy Clinic traces its roots back to 1964, with the current location being open since September of 2009. Area schools honored veterans of the U.S. Armed Services on Veterans Day. Rolla High School hosted guest speakers who shared their stories of service and discussed different ways to honor those who serve. Students also enjoyed performances by the U.S. Naval Academy's Gospel Choir, as well as the Rolla High School Choir and Band. In St. James, students honored veterans at John F. Hodge High School with essays and poems read by students, as well as patriotic music performed by the band, who also performed at the St. James, Missouri Veterans Home. There was also a color guard ceremony, guest speakers, and a presentation thanking the veterans at the home. Rolla's Ted Day has been honored by the Merrimack Regional Planning Commission. At the annual MRPC banquet on October 30th, Day was presented the Eugene E. Northern Award for his dedication to his community. The award is given to volunteers who demonstrate lifelong community service. Day has been involved with numerous organizations in Rolla, including the Delbert Day Cancer Institute and the Phelps Regional Healthcare Foundation. Jamie Myers and Laura Antalag, both of Rolla, as well as 9 other volunteers, were also recognized. Thayer man and science fiction writer Ezra Maines Jr. has surpassed a sales milestone with his most recent novel, with all proceeds going toward Relay for Life of the American Cancer Society. Following the death of his wife in October 2005 to cancer, Maines has had a deep desire to see the disease eradicated. Since early 2014, Maines has been donating profits from the sale of his books to Relay for Life, in addition to local donations, which together add up to nearly $4,500. Maines attributes the success of his fundraising to a supportive community and caring family. An update on the story of 14-year-old Tanner Roy, the Lebanon native diagnosed with Burkitt lymphoma. Roy's condition is improving. Scans of Roy's body reveal no abnormal growths or cancers, and his final round of chemotherapy began on November 9th. We wish Tanner a speedy recovery. University of Missouri head football coach Gary Pinkel will resign his position at the end of this season. Pinkel's decision is health-based, as he was diagnosed in May with a type of non-Hodgkin lymphoma. His players react to the news.
You know, he's plugging along right now. He's hid it from us, which is, I mean, no, I had zero idea. Hats off to him. And because when he said he was resigning, I was like, well, what the heck? Why? And then he went into everything. So it was a complete surprise to me. I hadn't heard anything about his cancer.
Well, anytime you hear news, about your favorite head coach, stepping down, due to health reason, it hurts. But at the same time, we love him and we're going to support him throughout the process that he goes through. And we're going to wish him the best, and we appreciate everything he's been able to do for us.
I mean, you can just, look at the emotion of every single guy. He knows every single one of us personally. Most coaches, they probably just, say hi and bye, but Coach Pinkel actually does talk to us on a daily basis, make sure that we're all right. Obviously, by him standing behind us throughout this entire week, he obviously supports his players throughout everything they do, which is the right thing. Just a great coach. Great coach.
The 63-year-old Pinkel transformed Mizzou into a national program after taking over in November of 2000. He will conclude his career as the winningest coach in school history. That's it for now. I'm Matt Wacker, and I'll see you right back here next week on the Weekly Recap. Thanks for watching.
Welcome to the Fidelity Roundup. It's Turkey Week, and we have plenty of great entertainment coming your way, like the free preview of Stars at Encore happening November 25th through the 29th. Gather up the family this Friday at 7 Central for Strange Magic. In this fast-paced, animated fairy tale, goblins, elves, and other strange creatures struggle to get their hands on a powerful potion. That's on Stars. How about HBO and Cinemax? Tune in for their free previews on the 27th through the 29th. Cinemax continues the popular original series The Nick, and romantic comedy The Other Woman begins airing Friday evening. HBO premieres The Kingsman, The Secret Service, about a tough street kid recruited by a spy to join a super secret espionage agency and battle a twisted tech genius. It airs this Saturday at 7 Central. Need help watching all of this great content? Let Fido record it all for you. Fido lets you watch and record up to 6 programs at the same time. Learn more at bringhomefido.com. We hope you enjoy these free previews. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.